I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about asking for what you want. You know, Margaret, a lot of people really struggle with asking for what they want.
Yes, they do.
If you grew up in a home where your parents ignored you, they dismissed you, they made you feel like what you need wasn't important, or maybe you were being selfish or greedy for asking for things, you're not going to feel comfortable telling your partner what you need or what you want.
Right.
And I think when you do that, the whole dynamic gets thrown off and the person doesn't really invest in you anymore because they're just kind of getting everything, but because they're not giving, they don't really stay committed to the relationship.
I think that's absolutely true. That's what opens the two-way street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure, all you givers out there, that you ask for things too. Because, you know, I think everybody has this unconscious belief that if I continue to give, they'll be happy and they'll love me.
And they'll love me.
But what actually happens is that you're the one that cares about them more because you're investing more. Meanwhile, they just kind of take you for granted and take advantage of that.
Right. They don't respect it so much. It sounds simple, but it's really not.
No. So it's healthier to ask for what you need. And Margaret had a call recently and they really enjoyed it. They shared an email and we thought, oh, this is a good topic for you guys to learn about.
And I'm sure you'll recognize yourself, and thank you so much for writing to us.
So they said, hi, I scheduled and received Skype coaching with Margaret on April 26th. This session was fantastic. And it felt great to get insight from a neutral party. Just a little background about my situation. I was with my boyfriend for 10 years and we have 2 children together. In late February, I found a text of him telling someone he loved them.
Someone other than her. Yeah.
Ooh, you can imagine.
Can you imagine finding that when you had
your heart
sense.
would just... Yeah. Your life would feel like it's ending at that moment, right? Just like, I can't believe this. What is going on? Well, subsequent to that, he told me he was leaving the relationship to be with this other woman. This was a complete shock, as I never thought he was ever even capable of exhibiting this type of behavior. This man was cold and a stranger to me. He moved out in the first week of March, and I immediately went into no contact. I only spoke with him about the children, and even that was very minimal on my part. In March, he was super cold towards me, but something changed in the beginning of April. I began to see again the man I loved. I still was in no contact, even though now he texted me more and more about random things. There's the direct approaches.
Sounds to me like no contact work.
Going on in his life, so he was looking for excuses to reach out. I bet it wasn't going so well with this other woman.
Bet not.
I didn't do this case. You know this one, so let's see if I'm right.
But you can't just go out and replace somebody, you know.
But people try and do it every day.
Do.
He began texting me at night to tell me, sleep well. And when he got a job interview, he called me on the phone excited to tell me about it. When he came to see the children, he'd comment on how attractive I was. See, look at this. He's regretting his decision real quick. Well, I told Margaret that our son really wanted to go to, let's say, another state. I don't want to say which state. And that he wanted his dad to go. Margaret told me when we come back from our trip that I needed to have a serious conversation with him and set parameters if he wants to reconcile. I was nervous to do so because I always felt like I'd be confrontational if I spoke my wants and needs in the relationship.
I wonder where she got that idea. Where would anyone get that idea? That if you express your wants and your needs, somehow you'll create a disaster. You don't suppose you grew up with that, do you?
I do suppose that.
Do you?
Because I learned it from you.
All right.
Which is why communication has been so bad. We headed on our road trip to New York, to the other state, and spent the weekend. It was great. Well, I spoke with Margaret, and we left on that trip the next day. On Monday, first thing he sent me a long message saying he missed me, the kids, and he needs me in his life. He told me later, after we spoke in person, that he was full of shame and regret. He didn't realize what he had, and he'll never take us for granted again. I did exactly what Margaret suggested, and I set parameters, and I have been talking constantly about the emotions I've gone through and currently am feeling. He cried so much and was so sorry that he put us through all the pain.
How appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. I sit here writing this and I cannot believe he is here. When he made his decision to leave, he was so cold and confident that he just knew the grass was greener on the other side. That wasn't the case. As he said, he knew from the time he walked out the door he had made a mistake, but pride had gotten to him. Last but not least, while he was gone, I renewed my relationship with God in addition to understanding the things I needed to work on because it wasn't all him. He has said before that I don't like to talk, so this was a symptom of a festering problem. I'm happy. We are on a path of being much stronger than before. Thanks for all you do.
Well, how very nice. And thank you so much for writing. Let me just clarify a couple of things. My feeling was, one of her options that she was well aware of is that she could have done nothing. Because he was coming by much more often and being much more involved and so forth and so on. However, had she done that, he would have taken no responsibility for his decision to leave or to come back. And that was not going to be acceptable over the long haul. It was sort of like she was available to be kicked around anytime he felt like it, and she could not have that. She deserved more dignity than that. She deserved better than that.
Yeah.
And how wonderful that he was able to respond the way he did. Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was able to use it, and 3 cheers for him. Now, the sticking point here was a fear of stating your needs and wants. If you grew up in a family where that was not encouraged, that it was not a good idea to state your needs and wants. If the response you get is, we can't afford that this week, somebody else needs this week, don't you think we just spent money on that last week, etc., you very quickly find out that it's not a good idea to state your feelings, your needs, or your wants.
Yeah.
And people commonly have the fear that if they introduce anything that might be controversial, that they might have a fight, and what would they do then? Okay? However, it's always worth it to state your case honestly. And once she was able to do that, the good news was that he was able to respond.
Yeah.
And she was able to say, you're not going to just come in and out of here while your status is unclear. Are you with us or are you not with us? And it could easily have gone to that.
Yeah.
So I applaud her. I'm very proud of her, and I'm so glad it worked out well.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree with you, because had he just come back like nothing had happened,
Yeah, that's just what he was going to do. Yep.
he wouldn't have felt guilty.
Right.
He wouldn't have felt like a consequence for what he had done wrong and what he put everybody through. And then he's liable to do it again.
Right.
But now he said, I knew when I walked out the door, and he said, I'm never going to take you for granted again.
So now he's made a grown-up decision instead of drifting and not owning.
That's right.
Yeah.
I agree that when you just let your partner skate by with everything and they don't give to you, it's not going to make them stay. A lot of people think it's going to make them stay because I make their life easier and I don't ask them for anything. But the truth is, they don't invest in you then. And then it's easy for them to kind of like, just kind of get out of the relationship.
But in the last analysis, we all want a grown-up. And, you'll hear, well, I do all this for this person, and, this person has had these problems in the past, may have all these pressures in the present. Why does that mean you can't be honest? Okay? And grown-ups are able to make decisions. This person needs that other relationship for this reason, that reason. If that's okay with you, fine, go with that. But if it's not, you need to be honest and say you need to make a decision.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she really held him to that, and hopefully she will continue to make him invest in this relationship and not take him back so easily. That he needs to realize, I've got to stay committed to this situation and repair this if I'm going to make it work, because if not, she's not going to take me back either.
And therapy would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
At this point.
Because there's probably a lot of hurt
There's
and
probably
anger.
some other stuff there too. But I'm so happy for you and so happy to hear.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And hopefully this will help you guys really think about what you're getting your partner to do to invest in you. Because you really do want them to invest in you.
Yes, you do.
Because if they just are there day in and day out and they do what they want, not committed to the relationship, then they don't value it.
Yeah, and it's your decision. This is your relationship, 50%, remember? You just don't come and go.
Absolutely. Great email. Thank you for sharing that. And of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching.
Yes, feel free to sign up with me. I can get you in pretty quickly this week.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I do have a lot of podcasts available, so just download them. They're on iTunes and all the different podcast hosts that are out there. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.